Hello guys, and today I'm going to show you another chess match, okay? And this is why no matter how close you think you are to checkmate, you may not necessarily be so. Always be aware that your opponent's position may be more dangerous than you think. And again, don't be too greedy. Chess is not Monopoly. I'm playing white. Now, it was just a move I did to try and free up the A file, okay? And also take the knight. It's an experiment in taking a knight using a bishop. They've obviously decided to do the same thing. Now I threaten their queen. I put me in check. I move the knight. Now at this point it's soon not going to look very good at all. But watch very, very carefully. At this point I decide to save the rook and move it next to the king. My opponent can't believe their luck and takes the knight. I then move my king out of the way. I could have threatened the queen with the bishop, but I have a better cunning plan. Now, taking the knight probably didn't help them as much as they thought, okay? Because it's allowed me to set up something which looks innocent. It looks as if I was just trying to move pieces out of the way. It looked as if I was just trying to save pieces, but I wasn't. I was very cleverly setting up a position, which I hoped my opponent, Black, would not notice. Now, so far, it looks as if Black's doing very badly. It looks as if Black's about to be checkmated any moment, and Black will have to do most of the running in order to try and get out of this difficult situation. Let's look at what Black next did. It now looks like it's almost all over. It looks as if, for example, the only way for White to save the rook might be to move it next to the king, or to move the rook to threaten the queen. And at this point it looks like White is going to have to do some incredible defensive work so that they do not lose their rook. In fact, I do not even try to save the rook at all. I'm not worried about the rook in the slightest. I'm not worried about the queen taking the rook and then putting me in check and potentially checkmating me. That doesn't worry me at all, because if the queen does manage to take my rook without, you know, the king being given an escape option, it would be checkmate. No. At this point, Black's probably very pleased with himself. They'll probably think, well, if I'm not too clever, in one move they'll get checkmate. And if I'm clever, I might be able to move the rook or do other defensive work. In fact, I don't do anything defensive whatsoever. I do not try to stop any pieces being taken off the board at all. The next move is lethal. Checkmate. Did you spot it? Always be careful and watch out for the checkmate you never saw coming, hiding in plain sight. And don't be greedy. They thought that by taking my knight and my pawn, it was a great thing to do. But they missed that it gave me an opportunity to move pieces in such a way that it didn't even seem like a threat. Let's look at that again. For example, I knew I had to move the rook out somehow. So I did this to threaten the queen, but it was really so that I could get the rook out. They then obviously, as I said, got me in check. Again, I moved the knight out purely so that I could then move the rook later to the intended position. They just thought I was just trying to defend it in some way. They didn't spot what I was really up to. Then, when they took the pawn, they assumed I might try to defend the rook. Yes, I did defend the rook, but the intention wasn't because I was scared of losing it. The intention was to get checkmate. Then they would take that here. And what they probably expected me to do was something like this. Which I didn't. I wasn't worried about the queen at all. I just hoped they wouldn't spot what I'd done. So I moved the king out of the way, which they probably didn't expect. They thought, what a sucker. Took the pawn and instead got checkmate. There would be another way of getting checkmate from here. Instead of moving the queen, but I didn't spot it in time, so I was trying to do this quickly, I could have moved the rook instead. And that would also have got checkmate because of the diagonal. So there you go, guys. Checkmate when it wasn't clearly obvious, and when white didn't seem to be doing well at all. Thanks for watching. Bye.